Ladies and gentlemen, an amazing week of Week 6 college football is underway, and currently Mizzou absolutely took a nice steaming wedge on the bed. So we're going to recap that. We're also going to recap a few of those other 12 o'clock games. You got Smooth handling business against a Louisville team that I really thought was going to give the ACC a run for their money and probably end up at the top, going against Miami for the ACC championship. Not looking like it. Of course, Texas A&M thrashes Missouri, and we'll get into the particulars about that and kind of what we saw when everyone else saw. And Penn State handles business against UCLA. Had a few other small schools doing what they need to do best, but we know the bigger games today are on prime time. So first things first, appreciate y'all watching these videos. Appreciate y'all supporting me. Please leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content. Man, let's recap it. Boys, it is 10-5. It is the 5th of October. It's a beautiful 4 p.m. day, nice and sunny, and Connor Wegman just took his two pairs of and put them and dragged them across a bunch of Missouri Tigers. That's what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. 41-10, Texas A&M and Missouri. And I got to be honest with you, this is one of those games where the score does tell the entire story. It does. It was just a complete domination. There's a few times that we've talked about Florida State in this channel. There's a few times we talked about a few other teams being demoralized when they lost. But to see a 4-0 team, top 10 ranked team in the nation, look completely demoralized by the second quarter, dog, it was like 20. I can look at it right here. Never mind. It was 24-0 in the end of the second quarter. I'm like 5 minutes left of the second quarter, and the game was over. Luther Burton was already throwing temper tantrums. I'm not mad at him for doing that. Mr. Cook is looking like that dude. What's his name? Connor Cook from Michigan State. He's not looking elite, okay? He's not looking phenomenal. Somebody's going to come in the comments and tell me Connor Cook's stat was actually an elite Michigan State quarterback. I don't care. You get what I'm trying to say. Same last names. I'm trying to make bad jokes. Okay, let me live. As I was saying, just absolute and utter complete domination when it comes to almost every single phase of the ball. I was looking in. I tried to be intense and really try to watch this game so I could show y'all the emotions and show you what's going on. Dog, Texas A&M dog walked Missouri. That's what happened. A number 25 team who looked embarrassing went into a number 9 team who shouldn't probably be ranked number 9 and dog walked them. Like, there's no fight, no nothing, not nothing. The running game was elite. And I do want to say this. The backup is great for Texas A&M. This Wegman kid, though, he came back and he was quite confident. He was lighting it up. He was throwing around town. It seems like a lot of confidence coming from him in the plays that were being made. And of course, those running backs that got back there are amazing, moving bodies when it comes to the big boys up front. This is a confusing team in Texas A&M. Obviously, with that loss to Notre Dame, it's really looking like they're starting to round out the edges and become a good team dealing with injuries, XYZ. So, hey, man, as a Texas fan, I'd be lying if I said I want to play this team. I'm not saying I'm afraid of this team. Look, we got the best offensive line in the nation, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Texas A&M, and they got some big bad boys on the defensive line as well. They got some nice big bad boys on the offensive line, and you could see by the movement of Missouri and how it was happening. But Missouri restakes his claim. I feel like Missouri does this every few years, and us football fans are just waiting for it to implode and the bottom to fall out. But yeah, Missouri was a complete fraud. I don't know what else to say. And the reason why I want to talk more about Missouri than Texas A&M is because I still think if you've been watching football long enough, you wait for Texas A&M. Let them show their whole court. They are literally the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they are. So let them show their hand. Let's see it. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win another game and then beat Texas in November. Look, this is just how rivalries go. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. A complete sham of a program, Mizzou. And it really makes me sad because coming into the season, I had Luther Burton as the number 1 receiver in the nation. Yeah, that's over the McMillans, over the everybody. I was like, I know I feel this way. I know I feel that way. I know McMillan should be. I know Travis Hunter could be. But I think Luther Burton has the perfect a combination to almost follow up the Malik Neighbors type build of a not as tall receiver, very shifty. You can put him in the ball, striking down the field, or give him on something short underneath, and he can make something handle, make something happen. And while I do still believe that he can do that, it's very hard when Cook is back there running for his life. He looked very Shedeur Sanders, the Missouri quarterback back there. And I'm not talking about elite ball placement and great using of timing to throw balls. I'm talking about running like a chicken with your head cut off, because that Mizzou offensive line was having their hands full with that defensive line. And as we know from the games that Texas A&M has played, Texas A&M, there are no slouches. They are not a bad football team. Sadly, as a Texas fan, I have to admit that they are a decent football team. So this is not something, I think the margin and the fact that they got up so quickly and just put the foot on their throat and just didn't let up, I think that was really what was the most shocking, and which was most, I won't say confusing, but like I said, shocking. It was not expecting that. So, I'm so sorry. Let's look at this box score. We're going to look at some memes, and then we're going to talk about the other two here. So let's hop in the box score here. The tail of the tape is going to be told in the run game, I guarantee you, because 236 rushing yards compared to 68. That's not going to win you the game at all in any way. Nate Noel goes for 10 carries for 30 yards. I mean, you got to get something better than that. 8 carries for 26, 11 yards for 11, Mr. Brady Cook. And then over here, Le'Veon Moss looking like another Le'Veon we know. Dang, Michigan State references are popping out everywhere. Le'Veon Moss, 12 carries, 138. 3 of them things. And then Mr. Amari Daniels getting it done twice in the end zone. Shout out to Connor Wegman. Like I said, it's not gonna. That's why I said we have to look at the rushing stats. The Connor Wegman stats are not gonna show up in the throwing side. No touchdowns. 18 for 22. 18 for 22. Just in comparison, look at this. Brady Cook was 13 for 31. Only missed 4 passes. Elite, almost 300 yards. Does what he needs to do. Obviously playing unselfish football. Lets his backs get a total of 5 other touchdowns. This is real deal team football, and you're going to have to watch the game and watch the throws that Wegman was throwing. And it is not just about him having confidence and putting his balls out there and really making some big-time throws. He was trusting his teammates. And I think for someone coming back from injury, not to only trust yourself and your capabilities, to be like, oh yeah, that's my guy out there. Just that is like the number one thing that a quarterback can do, advantageous wise. I think at the collegiate level and at the NFL level too. But at that point, it should be a known thing that you have to make those NFL throws, those back shoulders, those deep streaks where you want your guy to get under a post, like that post we were talking about with Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, we keep talking about the same 3 players, but that post with Shedeur Sanders for 14, that was one of those balls where, hey, you got to give your guy a chance. Let it hang out there. It could be a pick. It could be a pick. Back shoulder fades. They can all almost be picks. But if you put the ball in a good place and really trust your players like Connor Wegman seemed to do, Texas A&M is going to be a bit of a wagon. But first things first, as we talk about the other games, I want to look at the schedule. Missouri's got UMass, Auburn, and then Alabama. So they've got a few big bads on their – I can see SC getting a little scary for them at the end of November. I can see Arkansas scraping at the end of the season. Mississippi State's going to be awful. But then, of course, you got to play Alabama and Oklahoma. I don't know what team's going to show up for Auburn when you play on Mizzou, but to look at it frankly, with this being your first conference loss and you got a lot more conference to go, I see 2 or 3 more losses in general, and those are 2 or 3 more conference losses, so it's not looking the most phenomenal for you. But looking at these dang on Texas A&M. Now, Texas A&M, on the other hand, great that their loss was early to a pretty high-ranked Notre Dame team at the time, and it was a good game because now from looking out forward, I mean, you're going to handle Mississippi State. You have the tools to handle LSU. I mean, the hardest game that you have after that is going to be Texas. Like I said, you have, and we're going to be coming to goddamn Kyle Field. So we'll see how that works. So it's scary, but right now they're first in the AC. Wow, Texas A&M. Well, because no one else has played the games today. Okay, I'm tripping. I was like, how do they have? But no. So first in the SEC, obviously everyone else has got to play their games. They're set up in a little spot there. But let's look at these 2 teams here. Then we're gonna wrap it up. Not too many memes. Not too many memes were great, man. I gotta be honest with you. You got a lot more people sitting. You got what's it called? Oh, that was hilarious. This was absolutely hilarious. I just want to see. this man explode here real quick. By the way, while I'm recording this video, Vandy just went up on Alabama. So if I record that video, it's gonna be hilarious. Boom! Welcome to Big Ten football. God, I love this. So speaking of Penn State, speaking, we're just gonna skip over you, Smooth. I'm sorry. Speaking of Penn State, make this easy. I didn't watch this game. But Penn State flexes their muscles. They handle what they need to handle. Play some real Big Ten football, right? Run it down your throat, right? Put it down every which way. Mr. Drew Aller, the man that everybody called mid coming into the season, 17 for 24, 237, a tutter. Justin Martin, 167 for a tutter, 22. You threw the ball 30 times and had 167 yards. At least he had a touchdown, Connor Wegman. Tail the tape's always in the run game, except here because the run game was not. Who scored the What? Who scored the touchdowns? Drew Aller with a rushing touchdown. These stats look horrendous. This is a real This is a real Big Ten game, dog. No one had any yards. How did they even score? Go to the goddamn. Somebody show me the game cast, please. All right, let's watch. We got a field goal, a touchdown, a field goal, a touchdown. Katron Allen 1 yard. This is it. They just stopped scoring. I'm looking at this wrong. They didn't score until the second quarter. Where Drew Aller with a run yard, and then field goal, and then a tutter, 5-yard pass from Drew Aller, 8 plays, 75 yards, 16 plays, 82 yards, and then you have a 7-play, 39, 5-play, 58 yards. So just great field possession. The defense is putting them in position. Shout out to Penn State. Like we always talk about every week, they're going to be a team that's probably going to be either top 10 fringe, top 10-ish. They're going to stick their way in the playoffs because of the way that their schedule is set up and the way that they're going to handle these games. So, good for Penn State. They keep rolling. Now, again, I think this is a very important team as we talk about the world of the ACC. Sorry, I stepped on a frog. As we talk about the world of the ACC, SMU coming off that thrashing of Florida State, that will give you a little bit of a little battery in their back. Obviously, a lot of people were talking about that. It was a big situation, mostly mourning of Florida State and what they do. But I do have to be honest with you, this SMU team showed that they are not just some team beating up on the crappy FSU. They are a stout team, and they can put it together, and they show that they can do it here. Mr. Kevin Jennings, who I really like a lot, 21 for 27, 281, no tutters, but he did do it on the ground. 113 rushing yards. He was opening it wide open, and really breaking it out. But I mean, hey, Louisville are no slouches either. You got your guy with 10 rushes, 117, multiple 100-yard rushers here in this game, and then Tyler Shogue with 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. A well-fought game, and I think the ACC is starting to shape up to look like one of the most fun conferences within the league of college football. Lots and lots of excitement going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I think the funniest thing is that Missouri completely chokes it down to the wire in the best way possible. Oh, God, that song is copyrighted. Please don't copyright me, YouTube. But y'all let me know how you feel about Mizzou. Can they make it to the playoffs? Is Texas A&M a playoff team? Is Penn State the real deal? Get at me in comments and let me know. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Man, appreciate you. Did I tell you to subscribe? Come back next time.